Guys, welcome back to JJ's Football Corner. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Now, look, I'm gonna be honest with you here. I did not see Switzerland reaching the quarterfinal of the FIFA 2026 World Cup. That was not in my bingo card. Switzerland was not even a team that featured on my radar. I didn't, obviously, yeah, I know, Brillembolo, I know Xhaka, I know the keeper Kobel. But when I tell you, I did not in a million years predict that Switzerland would reach in a quarterfinal versus Argentina. I didn't pick that. They weren't on my radar. And look, this is not me trying to downplay Switzerland. This is not me trying to take away from Switzerland. This is me apologizing to Swiss fans. Swiss fans, if even one Swiss fan is watching this, let me tell you something. I apologize. I was not aware of your game. Congratulations, you guys are in a quarterfinal of a World Cup. That the last time you guys were in a quarterfinal, I had to do some research, was actually 1954. That's amazing. Like congrats, right? Like congratulations to Switzerland, man. You know, I just did not. I just didn't see that. I didn't envision that. So, let's look into it, guys. Let's look into this match. Argentina versus Switzerland. Before we even get into it, I just have to say, I'm still feeling aggrieved from that Argentina-Egypt match. I thought for sure Argentina was going home. I, was ready for the shock. I was ready to make a video about it. Then that last 13 minutes happened and Argentina just found that third gear. Whatever they found it and showed why they are the current champions. And man, I'm still in shock that that match turned out that way. I thought Egypt had it. I was wrong. Argentina proving once again why they're one of the favorites. I can't believe it, man. But let's get into this match. So obviously we have to start off with the greatest player of all time. I think it's time that we say that now. Obviously, you're gonna still have some debate. Ronaldo is my guy. He's one of my favorite players. You're gonna have some say Maradona. You're gonna have some say R9. You're gonna have some say Pele. But Messi is the greatest player, at least in this generation of players. He's 39 years old doing what he's doing. I hope I'm getting his age right. Doing what he's doing, he's amazing. He's amazing. He has 8 goals so far in the World Cup. He's scored in every match so far. He's assisted so much. I think he has 4 or 5 assists. What more can we say about Messi? What more can I say about Messi that has not been said over the years? He's the best. He's the best. He's the greatest of all time. And what's there to say, man? Like, it doesn't make sense to talk about. We all know what he's good at. Like, what isn't he good at, right? The team. We all know that Argentina is set up to get the best out of Messi. You have players like Enzo Fernandez who, he's an excellent passer of the ball. Well, at least for Argentina. I'm not the biggest Enzo Fernandez fan. But I have to acknowledge that for Argentina, he's clutch. He controls the midfield well. And he was the one who scored that late winner versus Egypt. And Lisandro Martinez is having the tournament of his life, man. I remember when Lisandro first came to England, there was a lot of debate about whether or not he could adjust because of his height. But what Lisandro lacks in height makes up for in fighting spirit. He's a fighter. He's a fighter. He's a warrior for Argentina. Defensively sound, and he's an excellent passer of the ball. For a defender, he's one of the best passers of the ball as a defender. He's probably better than some midfielders. I know that's probably wild or far fetched to say, but he's very good on the ball, very comfortable on the ball, and defensively he's just a rock, man. He's just a rock, not a tall rock, but a rock. Not making fun of your height, Lissandro, but you're a stalwart for that Argentina defense, man. For Switzerland they have Granit Xhaka, who if you watch the Premier League, he came into Sunderland, absolutely transformed Sunderland's midfield. He's doing the same here for Switzerland. He's a bedrock in that midfield. I'm reading a stat here that says he leads the tournament in line-breaking passes into the final third. He's made 50 of those. I hope that stat is true. But yeah, Xhaka is immense. He's immense. He's an immense player. Very underrated midfielder. When conversations come up of top midfielders in the world currently, not a lot of people will mention Xhaka's name, but he's a top midfielder. He's a top midfielder and a great asset to Switzerland. Controls the possession. It dictates the tempo of Switzerland. Great tackler of the ball, great hitter of the ball as well. He has great power. There. I have to also point out Kobel. I did mention him at the beginning of the video. He has 2 clean sheets so far. Decent tournament. Good penalty stopper. And he's gonna have to have. He should call Vozinho, or is it Vozinha? Vozinha. He should call him and get some tips, man, as to how to deal with the pressure, because I think they're gonna be under the pressure in this match from Argentina. Argentina they're gonna create chances, and he has to be at his utmost best. Embolo. For those who play FIFA, they'll remember that Bril Embolo was a wonder kid at one point. Great player to have in your FIFA side. FIFA 18 maybe, or 19, one of them. So he's a very physical striker, tall, great header of the ball. He's actually been directly involved in 13 of his last 17 international matches. He has 11 goals and 2 assists. So he's gonna be key for Switzerland in this match. He has to score. He has to definitely try and score or assist in this match. So, again, key stats here. Argentina, they've been unbeaten in 11 straight World Cup matches. I mean, they had a classic match. They've had 2 classic matches, Argentina. One against Cape Verde that will go down as one of the best World Cup matches of all time to me. I mean, I'm among hundreds of World Cup matches, but it's up there. Like it has at least been the top 100. Like it was such a great match. And to come back from 2-0 down against Egypt, like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm still in shock. I cannot believe that. I thought they were dead and buried, but somehow, some way, Argentina found a way. They've scored 13 goals this tournament. Messi scoring 8 of them. Messi is just doing Messi things, man. And Argentina and Switzerland have actually met twice in the World Cup before. They met in 1966 and they met in 2014. I believe Argentina beat Switzerland 1-0 in 2014. So once again, like I said, this is their Switzerland's first World Cup quarterfinal since 1954. They actually have not trailed at any point during their 2026 World Cup campaign. That's amazing. I didn't realize that. And in their last match, they eliminated Colombia on penalties. I had Colombia winning that match because I looked at Colombia's firepower. Luis Diaz on form. But they have a striker, Luis Suarez, who, oh man, he's not living up to the name of the legend at all. Like he's missing a couple of quite clear chances there for Colombia. Um, yeah, I thought Colombia would have went through with that match. Again, Swiss fans, I apologize. I was unfamiliar with your game there, and Switzerland are very. They seem to be a very disciplined side defensively, and they're going to have to be that way. They've never actually been Argentina. But listen, could this be the day? Could this be the first time that they do it? It's a tall ask, guys. It's a tall ask. I, I see Argentina winning this 2-0. I think Switzerland, struggled to create a lot of chances against Colombia. Um, Yeah, I see Argentina winning this 2-0. Messi to continue scoring. I think Messi might just score 2 goals, carry his tally up to 10 goals in the World Cup, which is would be amazing. Yeah, I can see Argentina winning this 2-0. Look, I'm not so far, Argentina has been in matches that nobody expected um Cape Verde to have a chance or Egypt to have a chance. So does Switzerland have a chance? Yes, of course they have a chance. They'd have to play their best game. Like I said, Jaka, Embolo has to come to the party. There is a chance there because, especially on the counter, Argentina has looked a little, susceptible. They've looked a little suspect on the counter. So there are opportunities there. There is an opportunity there for Switzerland to get something out of the match. But I just think Argentina will nip it 2-0. So that's my final prediction. Argentina 2, Switzerland 0. Guys, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell and leave comments. Let me know what you think. I'm looking forward to both matches today. If they're upsets today, that will make things even better. I don't mind my predictions being wrong. So let's stay tuned and let's see how the matches today play out. Alright, later guys. Bye.